So this is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by undefeated former WBC world champion David Benavidez. David, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing amazing. I just finished up 3 months in camp. I feel like this is probably the best camp I've ever had. I'm, extremely close to weight. I had a good run this morning, 171 on the dot. So everything's going perfect, man. I'm just ready to perform on Saturday.
What's made this the best camp so far? We know obviously you were last out in August last year. Good performance, but unfortunately you had that issue making weight, which you weren't entirely happy about. What's made a difference this time around?
I think what made the difference this time around was definitely the weight, losing the belt again for the second time, man. That and also, just having my son and my baby, it just made me realize that definitely need to be more professional. I want to be a better man, and I want to do everything right, and I'm tired of letting my fans down and all my people down. So I feel like when I came to Big Bear, I came with 3 months in advance, and I had an amazing time training, man. I've been eating like a cow. Everything has been going good, but I've been eating healthy, and we're good on weight. Last week I hit 170, and I've never been that close to weight, a week before the fight. So I think all these things just made up, and it boiled together, and it made me just look at myself in the mirror and realize that what exactly I want and what type of man do I want to be. Do I want to be that man that people keep talking about, saying that he's unmotivated, unprofessional, this and that, or I want to be the guy that does everything right, and I'm tired of people talking about me not showing respect, because I've been professional for 8 years, man. I've been here. I've only missed weight one time. So, I'm not going to leave no more room for people to talk about me no more. And, and Big Bear, I went to another place physically and mentally, so I feel like this is the perfect spot to me to train at. And this is where I'm always going to come back to, and I feel like, from here, to the rest of my career, everything is going to run perfect and smoothly. And I'm just looking for the future, looking towards the future.
You've been through a lot for such a young age in your boxing career already. But is that kind of a blessing that you are so young, because you don't feel like you've wasted time? You've still got a lot of time on your side.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I had to grow up, really young. I just turned 24 in
Yeah.
December. So, I've been professional already 8 years, 8 years already. So I feel like I got another 10 years left in me. So by the time I'm done, 18 years. But I don't even feel wasted or nothing, man. I feel like, I'm barely starting my career, and that's good for me. And, everything that happened to me, it happened on early on. But now, since I have my son, and, I'm, extremely motivated now I'm ready to become a champion, and when I say that, I really mean that, because at 20 years old, you're really just trying to figure yourself out, and you're still making mistakes. But now, when you got your own family, you got stuff, you got people really, looking up to you, it's definitely, it really made a change in me. And, I'm just ready for the next 10 years of my career.
How old is your son now?
He just turned 6 months.
So before camp started, were you able to be quite hands-on with him?
He was born in September, so I was there. I wasn't even there for too long, man. I was, it really hurt me a lot, but at the end of the day, it's a sacrifice you have to make, to do what you got to do, but I was with him every day for 3 months, and, just seeing him like small, and, not really being able to move too much. And then from now, he's just moving everywhere. He's very, attentive. He's very aware of stuff. It's a beautiful thing. And I can't wait to be back with my family.
And you've got Ronald Ellis, of course, this Saturday night, Showtime headline fight. It's a chance for you to remind people of just how good you are, and also a WBC final eliminator for the title, which you've held in the past. What do you expect Ronald Ellis to bring, and what sort of statement are you looking to make?
So, before I answer that question, before we got the fight with Ronald Ellis, I was looking for the harder fights. I've been wanting the bigger fights. I wanted to fight with Uskataki or Linnell Thompson to do the B Uskataki, but they all turned the fights down, So Ronald Ellis, I got to give him respect too, because he's the only one who accepted the fight. We're even trying to get Berlanga out there, Berlanga, for this fight, and he didn't, they didn't accept the fight. So Ronald Ellis was the only one who accepted the challenge. But after saying that, man, I don't really see too much in Ronald Ellis. I feel like he's a good boxer. He's slick. He has somewhat speed, but I don't think he's ever been in there with an opponent like me. A fighter like me with the power, my speed, the way I can put my combinations together, and I'm a vicious body puncher as well. So I think it's going to be a knockout before the 6th round or a stoppage before the 6 rounds, but it's going to be a great performance on my end.
Now, we know that Canelo's now in your division. He's on a mission in the short term, he says, to unify at 168 pounds. Billy Joe Saunders for him in May and potentially Caleb Plant in September, depending on how May goes. You're not mentioned very much by him and his team. Obviously, he's wanting to unify the belts. That might be partly the reason. But a lot of fans believe that you've got the style to really pose him problems. What do you make of the fact that he's not talking about you very much?
I mean, the reason they don't talk about fighters is because sometimes they're trying to avoid them a little bit. I'm not saying Canelo's scared of me, but maybe, he knows that, I'm the last one that's going to give him a tough fight. So before he puts me in front of everybody else, I think he wants to get everybody out the way first. But if you look at the type of fighter I am, man, I'm younger than everybody, man. I'm hungry. I've been 2-time world champion already. I have a great jab. I have great body shots. I have a lot of speed. I throw in great combinations too. So, and, I'm not just going to stay there for Canelo to, just I'm not going to stay him like that, like all the other fighters did. No, I got my own IQ too, and I know exactly what to do. So I have more of an advantage. He's a smaller fighter than me, so I'm going to make him run into stuff. But I feel like if he doesn't take a fight with me, after Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant, who is there left for him to fight? Do you think people are going to keep wanting to see him fight like Ildrum, like having a fight like Ildrum? Like, I'm the only one that could, give excitement. I'm the only one that the fight, there's giving a buzz around after these two fighters. So I feel like he's not going to have no choice. He says he's going to want to stay in boxing for 4 more years. So if he doesn't fight me now or later, I feel like I'm going to be more dangerous later. I just turned 24 years old. I'm not even in my prime yet. So, but I feel like I could beat Canelo right now. I feel like I'm ready. I'm in the right mindset. Everything is perfect right now. So whenever he does want to, give me the fight, I feel like at the end of the day, the fans are the ones who are going to win because this fight is going to be an amazing fight.
And what do you do to keep yourself busy and, more importantly, motivated in the meantime before that marquee fight happens?
Well, right now, it doesn't get no more motivating than this, man. It's going to happen. Literally in the next 1 or 2 years, I feel like it could happen. But if that fight doesn't happen, we got Charlo, we got Caleb Plant, we got, all kinds of other fighters, So now this is just doing the stuff I told myself I was going to do when I was a little kid. So I was going to be a great champion and I was going to fight the best of the best. And that's just what I want to do right now, man. I feel like there's too much good fighters at 168 for us not to fight each other. The fights could definitely be made happen, so, and, that's why I'm willing to fight anybody. I'll fight anybody because I really want my respect from the fans.
Just tell us a little bit about how you first got into boxing and who were some of the guys you looked up to when you were a kid?
Well, I first got into boxing. I was 3 years old, just training with my brother. But the fighters I really looked up to, I liked Marco Antonio Barrera, Prince Nassim Hamed, Oscar De La Hoya. I even like Joe Kawasaki a lot. He was really good. He was one of my favorite fighters. Who else? Roy Jones, James Toney. So it was a lot of different fighters, man. I've always been a fan of boxing. And I've always been a student of boxing. Even till now, I enjoy boxing. And I'm not scared to say that a lot of these guys fighting now I'm fans of, But I've always loved boxing. Even to the old guys, Robert Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. I always try to watch as much boxing as I can.
You said you started at 3 years old. I mean, was there ever much chance of you doing anything else with your life? It sounds like you were indoctrinated early.
Yeah, no, I've never, basically my childhood was non-existent. And, that's kind of sometimes the way it goes with young champions. I didn't really have a childhood. My dad didn't really let me have too much friends or school. I didn't even proceed school. I dropped out of school twice because, I really wanted to make it a point that I want to really dedicate my whole life to boxing. So, I mean, but to be honest, if I could start my life back over again, and I wouldn't change a thing. Everything was perfect and everything is running good. And, I feel like it taught me to be a man since an early age because, when you're fighting these guys, you turn pro at 15 years old, there's no room to be a kid no more. You have to grow up quick.
And what about in sparring? Do you, obviously you're fighting quite a high level competition anyway, but do you find you're filling in some of the gaps in your education in sparring at the moment as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. And when I was, that's kind of what made me, get my style from today, because I was from 14 years old. I sparred Latif Coyote. He was a cruiserweight world champion. Then I sparred Kelly Pavlik. Then I sparred Gabriel Rosado. Then Golovkin. And then I got a little bit older. I sparred Sudo Ramirez. I sparred Dimitri Bivol. I've been in there with the best of the best. And, we've had some legendary sparring. We had some good sparring. So even just that, it took my IQ to a whole different level. And I definitely educated myself in the ring, because, you have to learn how to do different stuff with these fighters, because you don't just want to stand there and take a full hit. You know what I mean? That, these guys are going to get shots in here or there. So sometimes you do some different, you roll, you do head movement, you do different stuff. So, and then just having these great fighters for me to practice on, it just made my IQ go up even that much more.
What age were you when you were sparring Kelly Pavlik?
I sparred Kelly Pavlik at 15. He was 15 years old. He was like, when I sparred him, that was definitely a sparring session I was really proud of, because it was a great sparring session. And that guy, he was not going easy on me. He's trying to knock me out. And then I sparred Golovkin I think I was at the end of 15, 16, and I sparred him for like 4 years. I sparred Golovkin. The first time I sparred Golovkin was before he made his U.S. debut on HBO. So, and just Golovkin, just being able to work with Golovkin, man, he was the best fighters at the time, most feared fighters. So I had to learn how to, control the power, deal with the power, make him run into stuff, make him feel my own power. So it's been, it's been a lot of lessons. There's been a lot of days I went home, my stomach hurts from body shots, or, you spar so much, your head starts to hurt, but it's a part of the game.
What sort of weight would you have been, especially when you were sparring Pavlik, because you were still quite...
When I sparred Pavlik, I sparred him. Okay, so when I was 12 years old, I had my parents were split up already. My brother, he had signed a Top Rank and he moved to California. So that was the only year I stopped boxing out of my whole life. And I was 180 and I gained like 100 pounds. So I went up to like 250, 260, something like that.
Wow.
And then, I looked at myself in the mirror one day. Like, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't even recognize myself. So I made the decision to go to California to train, lose weight at first. It took me like 2 years and I got down to 190, 180 when I sparred Pavlik. And so like 180, like I was like 180 when I sparred Pavlik. And then, we're starting to get the sparring in. And then I turned professional at 16. So I got down to like 75, by the time I was 15, 16, something like that.
It sounds like your brother's been an incredible influence on your life, not just boxing, but generally.
Oh, yeah, definitely. My brother, he didn't just teach me how to be a boxer. He taught me how to be tough. He taught me how to have a different mindset in the boxing game, because when I was younger, I was a little bit bigger kid, fatter kid, and people like try to pick on me. So since then, I feel like he always taught me how to, never let people pick on me, always be tough, always try to, defend yourself. And I kind of just translated that into boxing. And then that's why I feel like that's not why my style is the way it is today, because, I've never let nobody hurt me. I've never let, I'd rather hurt somebody else. By the time the fight is finished, that way they can't say nothing about you. They can't say that the fight was robbed, that it was a close fight. That's why I fight how I am, because my brother taught me, and, he taught me how to be a tough man since I was a little kid. And, just seeing him, the way his career played out, he was top prospect and he won the belt, and then just being around there for him and seeing all that stuff happen, it was just a great experience. That was basically my way into the boxing world like that.
Well, it's great to hear. I want to wish you the very best of luck for Saturday night. I hope you put on a show, and I'm sure we'll all be entertained. And we can catch up again, hopefully, after the fight.
Okay, for sure. Sounds good, brother. Thank you so much for the interview.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Bye.